morning, everybody. We are just getting up and I'm gonna deflate our sleeping pads and we're gonna pack up our bags and get a little breakfast and head to Rock Harbor.
This is the final countdown.
Final countdown.
So I am generally the chef most days, and today we are doing coffee and oatmeal. Generally take our oatmeal cold, coffee hot. The coffee is easy. Just boil water, use 2 packets of Starbucks Mia, 1 each. Come in different flavors so she can get her weak sissy coffee and I can get my nice bold Italian roast, and everybody is happy. Camp is starting to wake up, but I think we'll beat most people out, so I'm gonna risk doing warm coffee. I almost want to do cold for me so I can suck mine down.
You can make cold. Just mix it really good. Mine looks really nice.
I'll make yours hot. I don't care.
No, it doesn't need to be hot.
Alright, camera, I lied. We're trying to get a move on. We woke up at 6:43. Tried at 5 o'clock, didn't feel like it. 5:30, didn't feel like it. 6, didn't feel like it. Alright, so change of plans. We're doing cold coffee because we want to get a move on since we're going to have to filter. Well, we're doing almost 8 miles. We got some tired feet. A couple of abrasions and hot spots, no blisters, but we think we can get there pretty easily. It's terrain we know. Trying to get a shelter. It may rain a couple times tonight between 4, 7, and 2 a.m. and we don't want to be dealing with that as we're trying to get on the boat. So our plan is Rock Harbor people can only stay 1 night. So anyone there, if they're following the rules, should have to leave. And there is exactly 1 campsite that can easily feed us there. And we're going to pass that, and that's 3 miles. Now there is another campsite that is equidistant from here to there. We're going to get there real early and just politely ask people in shelters, hey, you hanging out, you moving on? We'll take what we can take. Shelters are real nice because I don't know if you can tell just from the trees in the background, but it's pretty humid. And there's a lot of condensation, so we like to set our things out and have them dry. We will have to filter some water today. I'm probably going to need a liter. It's almost 8 miles, but it's terrain we've done before. The first 4.2 is probably the easiest. Then right towards the end of that 4.2, it'll get a tiny bit tougher. Nothing we can't do though, nothing we haven't done. And then, out of 3 Mile, we're just going to leap over the hill by one of the sets of caves, go around to Tobin Harbor and take that 3 miles all the way to Rock Harbor. Take that into Rock Harbor and hopefully get a shelter. We're shooting for between 11 and noon, depending on how fast we get moving here. Because we generally do sustained about 3 miles an hour, so we shall see.
We have finished breakfast and we are getting almost packed up. The shelter is almost empty. Just have a few odds and ends, and I need to put some Neosporin on a little tiny like abrasion on my foot. It's not from hiking, it's actually from when we went swimming in the lake. I think I might have stepped on like a zebra mussel or something. Let me show you. It's not really that bad. Right there, see the pink? It just stings a little bit when I step on it. So my feet are not very clean, as you can tell, but I'm gonna clean them up as best I can, put a little Neosporin on it, and then like a piece of tape over there, just so it doesn't rub raw. This is Luca tape, by the way. If you don't want blisters, use this stuff. I tape the balls of my feet and my heel, which is why you see all these brown marks. It's not actually dirt, this is adhesive from tape. I just pre-tape because I know I'm gonna blister. My feet are soft, they've always blistered, no matter the type of shoe or sock I wear. If I pre-tape with tape every single day, this stuff does stay on for a couple days if you can keep your feet dry, but I like to walk around barefoot, dry my feet out a little bit at camp, so because it gets so sticky it grabs a lot of dirt and sticks and stuff, so I take it off when I get to camp and I just reapply in the morning. Keeps me from getting blisters. I don't have a mirror, so I'm using the camera to put in my contacts. Ugh. Clean my hands as best I can. Just glare on the lens, I can't see. Oh, success. Yes. Woo! I prefer wearing contacts versus glasses on the trail, solely because my glasses tend to fog up, especially on hot, humid, or wet days, and it seems like this island is just perpetually humid. Even if it's a nice sunny day, it's humid here. But it is August, so Michigan is humid in the summertime. We are almost backed up. Bags are pretty much loaded. We got a few things on the table here, and we just have to filter our liter of water for Matt's pack, and then we're off. Our neighbors over there just left, and we can hear other people packing up around us. So we're gonna try to get a move on, and we'll be on the Rock Harbor Trail in no time. This is my glasses case for most backpacking trips. It's actually a Crystal Light instant lemonade container that you can buy at the store. The instant packets come in there. I'm not really a big fan of them. They're not that good, but the container is the perfect size for contact case, a travel solution, and your glasses. Then I have my sunglasses, earpiece in there too because they broke on day one. But yeah, if you're looking for a good hard-sided plastic case that's not heavy, check out Crystal Light. to Rock Harbor. We're gonna make a left turn or a northerly turn at 3 Mile. We're gonna cut up to the Tobin Harbor Trail. It should be much easier to hike than the Rock Harbor Trail, especially in the rain. So we're gonna eat a little extra mileage, but it'll be worth it for the easier trail. We've passed a bunch of groups, and we're really hoping there's a shelter at the other end, because I don't know if you can tell, it is pouring rain. Well, folks, we made it to Rock Harbor and we were able to snag a shelter. We got very, very lucky. This place fills up very quickly. We happened to catch a couple leaving right as we got here, and they were headed to the Isle Royale Queen ferry. So it was just leaving as we were coming in. It was just like 11 o'clock, so we did like 8 miles in 2 hours.
A little over 2 and a half.
A little over 2 hours. We were booking it down the trail, and it's sunny now. It was pouring rain. I tried to take some video with the GoPro, but the battery died, and it was raining so hard I couldn't risk getting into my pack to get the batteries out. So I apologize, I didn't film much, but it was basically wet, rocky, and wild, and it was fun. We've had a great trip. Matt is soaking wet, I'm soaking wet, but we've got a shelter for the night, and we are unpacking, and then we're gonna hit the gift shop and see if they have chips and pop and all the little things we want to try. So we'll check back in with you in a little bit. We found ourselves in the grill after taking a 5-minute shower. Paid $6, I think, for 5 minutes and a towel.
Yeah.
Checking out the beers. I don't know what we're gonna get for lunch yet. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'll do the greenstone burger with fries.
This is a very well-earned beer. And if you guys ever do this and go to Rock Harbor early, because those shelters are competitive.
Fresh green salad. So excited. Destroyed that salad. I'm just waiting for our burger. How happy are you right now?
So happy.
Oh, cool. Good, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We destroyed those burgers. They were so good. Gonna drink a little water, finish our beers, and then we're gonna head back to camp. It was a little otter. Walking back to camp. Matt's gonna check out the real bathrooms that are attached to the gift shop. I'm just gonna go back to the shelter and digest this burger. I'm pretty sure I inhaled it. I know that's disgusting, but I was just so hungry. Not that we didn't have enough food. We got a lot of leftover food. It's just, you get tired of eating noodle-based, dehydrated food. Not that any of ours was bad. It's just nice to have a big fat grilled burger and the salad. That was good, nice and fresh. It's funny because they were actually out of a lot of things. They're waiting on the Ranger 3 ferry to come in tonight. That arrives at 3 o'clock, and it drops off a lot of supplies for the restaurants. and the rangers and such. So they're gonna have a lot more food options available tonight. So we might even eat dinner there. We haven't decided yet, but we just bought some Isle Royale t-shirts. And unfortunately they don't sell pants or sweatpants or anything, because I would have bought a pair of those too. But at least we have clean shirts. Okay, walking up to our shelter, I'll give you a look-see of where we're staying tonight. This is the path leading up to it. Trying to dry everything out. This little guy right here, the Delorme InReach, great investment. We're able to tell home that we're okay. We're able to text them fun things like what we've seen, where we're going. They're able to track our location. It's really cool to have communication with the mainland when there's absolutely no service on the island. Not even like extended or Canadian towers, just no service. So the Delorme can communicate with no issues. I've had no problems with it this trip. I only had one campsite where I couldn't get the weather, but we were able to text my mom through the Delorme and get the weather that way. So it's definitely a good investment. It was a big MVP for this trip. We were able to get updates on our cat that our mom is house sitting for us, and tell everybody that we're okay and the boat's on time for tomorrow. So on and so forth. You know, if our plans changed, where we went. So, good investment. Check it out. They are a little bit pricey for the unit and for the subscription, but for the amount of hiking that Matt and I do, it's well worth it. We totally found a washing machine, and we are washing our clothes, so we have clean underwear for tomorrow. Matt's in his pajamas and his purchased t-shirt, and there's dryers too. Everything we own is pretty much wet from a clothing standpoint. You know, our shelter stuff is all dry, but our clothing got soaked. And we didn't pack a ton of clothing on purpose. So, gonna give that a wash, and we'll be back later to pick it up and put it in the dryer. Ranger 3 ferry coming into dock.
Healthy and hydrating beverages. I drank a liter earlier, we'll be fine.
We put our clothes in the dryer, made a stop in the gift shop, picked up cherry Pepsi. Oh yeah. Listen to that. Cheers.
Good.
The Ranger 3 is docking right now, dropping a bunch of people off, so the hordes of people are trying to escape the boat and find their campsite for the night. This campground in particular is pretty full, but they should find room in Daisy Farm or 3 Mile if they get a move on, because a lot of people left Daisy and 3 Mile today.
And throughout the day, we did notice a lot of the full spots people had left, but people have been coming in at a trickle, so...
Yeah.
I know that one filled up, that one filled up.
Yeah, I think the shelters here are all full.
They're probably out of luck if this is what they want.
Yeah.
You gotta be willing to do some mileage your first day.
Yeah.
Maybe not go all the way to Daisy, some people do.
A lot of people go to Daisy, Lane Cove, or 3 Mile, and we chose to go to 3 Mile for our first day just because it set up our second and third days a lot better. And we ended up finding a shelter right away at 3 Mile, so it was a good decision for us. And we ended up with a great site, and it was a good night that night, so.
Daisy might have been a little tiring after having been on the boat for 6 hours, but...
Yeah, but you could do it.
Yes.
You know, if you've hiked before, if you're an experienced hiker and you're not afraid to kind of book it, you could get to Daisy and get a decent site the first night off the Ranger. Problem is the Ranger drops you off at 3 o'clock. So you're already kind of behind the game because other ferries have already beat you in.
At least 3. It might even be later.
And seaplanes and such. So it's, but the Ranger 3 is a bigger boat, hauls a lot more people, it's a lot more stable.
Very comfortable, very stable.
Longer trip.
Nice bathrooms,
yeah.
Food,
it is a 6-hour trip on the Ranger.
On the boat.
Real bathrooms, which is nice. So it has its benefits. We're happy with the way we did things. Very happy. So we're gonna drink our cherry Pepsi and wait for our clothes to get out of the dryer and for the hordes to clear away from the dock. And then we'll probably go hang out by the water maybe. Getting settled in here in the shelter. We've got all our laundry done. Just folded laundry in the wild. That's a first. I'm wearing clean clothing for the first time in like 6 days. And it's great.
Not even worried about dehydrating myself with beer and pop because the water, and it's a spigot, is maybe 20-25 feet away. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Scary. So we're just chilling until we decide to walk down and have people cook real food that doesn't come out of a bag and get rehydrated. Might be pizza.
We might get a pizza tonight. We haven't decided.
There's a restaurant. They make fancier fare, but she and I are suckers for pizza.
We'll see. We'll look at the menu. Right now we're just kind of getting things ready for the evening because we didn't really unpack too much. We just kind of pack explosioned on the floor in here.
We wanted to get in here and claim our territory.
Lots of people coming in off the Ranger. We saw quite a few taking the Rock Harbor Trail here through camp. I didn't see a ton come through, which tells me more of them took Tobin Harbor, so they're the smarter bunch. A couple people looking for shelters through here, but they're not going to find them. They're full.
They looked and then they set off, and a lot of people were leaving 3 Mile, so some of those groups will get lucky. We met a lot of people going from 3 Mile to Daisy, so the groups that are just coming off now, some of them will be fine.
Yeah, they'll be alright. They'll find a spot, it's just a matter of finding what you want. One thing I haven't really mentioned before in the other shelters, but a lot of people document their trips on the walls in the shelter. Matt and I have not, just simply because we're not really sure what the protocol is with like leave no trace. But I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think it could go either way. There's no trail logs or anything in the actual shelters, which would be kind of neat. So I think the shelter itself kind of serves as a trail log, and it's just kind of it's kind of neat to go back through and read the dates and where everybody's been, and some people detail their exact trips, and sometimes you see people have been here multiple times and they document all of them in the same shelter, which is just insane. Like 10 plus consecutive years of coming to the island, which is just awesome. But it's kind of like a little neat art form almost, but I'm not sure if it's condoned by the island, and so we haven't added our names to the wall, but
We're treating it like cairns. We're not gonna add to it. We're not gonna knock it down. We're just gonna kind of look at it and go, oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, but it is kind of neat to read them at night. Gives you something to look at. It's not like you can peruse the internet. So, just wanted to show that to you guys. Every shelter has them. Some are more intricate than others. So, okay. See you later. It's a big bull. It's a big bull moose. That's a wreck. That's a big moose. Shh. Big bull moose.
I know. Look at those.
Oh, here he's turning.
I think that's what I'm trying to do.
Look at those antlers.
He's big.
People weren't messing around. They come right up here at Rock Harbor.
Yeah. Oh, wow, he's looking.
Yeah, there's a dude walking up over there. He looked at him.
Oh, he's pissing.
Majestic.
Wow. He's just munching away at the grass.
What if there is a moose?
Holy cow. We just saw a moose. Second to last day and we see a moose. We're going home tomorrow morning and we saw a freaking moose. A big bull too, a big mature bull. I'm so happy right now. So we're gonna celebrate with pizza, blueberry cobbler at the lodge.
We went to some remote areas. Nothing. Saw one where I wouldn't expect to see.
We did see a lot of sign though at those remote areas. We just didn't get lucky enough to see one.
Macargo, we saw the only shed. A lot of sign all the way to Moscow.
When we talked to several people who saw moose in those areas the same days we were there. We just happened to miss them. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning. The ferry is parked out at the dock. It is just after 6. Matt and I got up a little bit early so we could pack everything up and clear out of the shelters so anybody coming into 3 Mile today could get this one for themselves. We're gonna have a little breakfast. We haven't decided if we're gonna go to the restaurant for breakfast or if we're gonna eat some of our oatmeal and coffee that we still have left over. Boat leaves at 9, but we have to be at the dock by 8. So I'm gonna start packing up our stuff here, and I think I'm gonna walk out to the boat dock to see if I can catch the sunrise. So check back up with you in a little bit. I'm walking around Rock Harbor, trying to see if I can spot another bull moose or even a cow. They've been seeing a lot around here lately, and we got lucky enough to see one yesterday. I was hoping maybe in the early morning I could spot one without anybody else around. Right in the same area we saw the one last time. This is actually walking up to their amphitheater. I don't see one out here today. My battery's about to die, so I'm gonna turn it off and check back in with you if I see one. There's a loon out there somewhere. I can hear him. No mooses. We've been hearing the loons all night. Most nights, most of the places we stopped have at least a few resident loons, although they are somewhat threatened here. They've been nice to listen to. Oh, there he is again. He's pretty far away, so you probably can't hear him. That's a seagull. Come on, Mr. Loon. Looks like Matt's making breakfast. I went on a moose camera hunting adventure and I did not find a moose. But that coffee looks
We're
good.
gonna have strong coffee. I should put more water in there.
Well, that's alright. You could just add cold water.
My bad.
We still have one little Ziploc bag, well, gallon Ziploc bag, full of like lunch things that we didn't eat because we had lunch here yesterday. And then we have 2 dinners left. Actually, 3 dinners. 2.
Yeah.
2 dinners each. Because we didn't eat ours yesterday, we ate at the restaurant, and we had a spare in case the boat was delayed. But the weather looks good,
We did
so.
lunch at the restaurant, which we weren't sure we were gonna make. We didn't know how fast we were gonna go.
Last bag of oatmeal and instant coffee for the trip. Let's see how crazy my hair looks. Not too bad. There are no mirrors out here. You never really know how you look to other people, but everybody here on the island looks a little haggard anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Breakfast is good. We decided just to make our own, as you see. We didn't want to wait for the restaurant to open and then hope that we get served before we have to be at the boat. Not that they're very far apart from each other, but this saves us one less task. It's been a good trip. I don't really want to leave. I don't know if you can tell, but bumming a little bit today. I don't want to leave. I feel like we did everything I wanted us to do. We saw everything I wanted us to see. And we did more miles than we planned. We did faster miles than we planned. Saw a lot of great sunrises, beautiful moose, tons of loons, tons and tons of mergansers, lots of waterfowl. Beautiful wildflowers, trees like I've not seen before. This island is just unique. It's different. It's different than anything else I've ever done. The trails are different. The flora and the fauna are very different. Ah, there's a mosquito. We've been very lucky with bugs the entire trip. And this campsite seems to have them. Our last campsite has mosquitoes. Not very bad though from the stories I hear about Isle Royale. We've been very, very lucky. Yeah. Okay, I gotta finish my breakfast before I'm late for the boat. We had one casualty here on the island as far as gear goes. This is our REI pack towel in like the mini size. I really like it because it's very absorbent and it's nice to like clean our dishes and stuff with, and it's good to just have a towel just to wipe condensation and stuff off. But as you can tell, it's got some burn holes. I had it folded and we use it as a pot holder for these handles on here because these get warm when this is on the stove. Our other kettle had rubber on the edges of the handle so you could grab it, but it was a lot heavier than this kettle, and I really like this kettle because we can cook in it with a lot more ease than the other one. But you have to have a pot holder or a pot gripper or something, and I'd been using the towel with success, but one morning I just got a little complacent and I didn't turn the burner off, and I just went to grab it to check it, and I smelled something funny, and I actually looked up to the lake like, I wonder what's burning, and I realized it was by my hand and I could smell it. It's got a pretty nasty like burning fabric smell, but yeah, it was my fault. I got it too close to the flame, but I kind of noticed it looks a little bit like almost like a jack-o'-lantern or like a sad face pumpkin or something. But yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to the pack towel now that it's the end of the trip. I did that in Mosky Basin too, so we've been dealing with this holy towel for quite a ways now. But we're gonna put this in the trash bag and toss it in Rock Harbor's dumpster before we leave. So only one casualty, all the other gear survived. Everything worked out perfect. Everything I packed was, you know, we used. We didn't have anything extra or anything that we needed or wanted. I guess the only thing extra we had was some food, but we already talked about that. But yeah, trip was good. Well, we're just about packed up. Just got a few things, like I gotta break down the poles and find a spot for them on the packs. And we gotta put our regular shoes on. But pretty much ready to go. That boat's going with, or that bag's going with us on the boat. And we're gonna say goodbye to the island here in a little bit. Packs are all loaded up. Right back there in the back. I don't know if you can see. And we are in line to get on the ferry. Yes. We are on the Ranger. We got seats this time. Woo. About to depart. Everybody's still boarding.
Yeah, I don't think there's as many people, so that means earlier departure depending on
Quieter
cargo.
boat. A little quieter maybe.
Yes.
Saying goodbye to the island. It's just starting to rain. Boat engines are on. And saying goodbye to Rock Harbor. Goodbye to the island. Goodbye, island. Been good to us.
Leaving right as some storms roll in, not a bad time.
How was your trip?
Fishing. Yeah, that's always a couple of fish.
Entering the Keweenaw Peninsula. First time we've seen it in a couple days. Trip is coming to an end. We are almost home. We just entered the Keweenaw Peninsula, the channel that goes between Lake Superior and Lake Houghton. So our car's in Houghton. We're gonna get off there. And we just wanted to say thanks for watching. And stay tuned for our next adventure.
See you guys later. This is the Victory Lap. We are rocking to some tunes, burning down the house, and yeah, we're on our way back from the ferry. Only 4 hours and 15 minutes or so of driving to St. Ignace, and then we're staying the night. Nice Quality Inn Express. Holiday Inn Express. Mine's not even working after being on a boat for 6 hours. Holiday Inn Express, and then quick 3 hours to Saginaw tomorrow, recover, and I'm working by Friday. So yeah, there's the keeping my hands on the road, but we did it dance. You can pretend I'm dancing because I'm rather tired, but I'm morale officer for the next 4 hours. Party. See, this is what it's supposed to look like on Highway 2 when you don't have the clouds.
You can cut it if you want. I'm gonna change my clothes.
Oh, I think I ran out of stuff to talk about long ago.